Hey guys, so I'm sorry that I had to talk kind of quiet, but the boyfriend's asleep, and I'm also sorry I look so terrible. I kind of just went swimming. Basically, first step. I'm using L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Rejuvenating Toner. I wouldn't really suggest this. It's not my favorite toner, but then again, I haven't really experimented with toners that much. But a good tip is don't go with a toner with a lot of alcohol in it. And then I'm just going to go around, especially my T-zone, which is along my forehead and my nose and my chin. So that's where I get the most grease. And just kind of rub in tiny circles in those areas. Not too light. And then I kind of like to rub it off a bit with my sweater so it doesn't get too greasy. So I find this does tend to make my skin a little greasy if I apply it too thick. And then I just lightly rub it over the rest of my skin. And then lightly rub it back off. And I find that really helps to just reduce the shine a bit. I'm using L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. I don't actually have the thing on the front anymore, but this is C1. So I'm just going to dump that onto my finger. Take a nice big helping like that. Get out my little mirror. And mostly put two big streaks on my cheeks, little one on my chin, and then pat some of that off my cheeks onto my nose. Get a nice full coverage all over my nose, especially in around my nose ring. Usually I'd take that out, but right now it's closed up pretty hard, so it's just easier to go around it. Use my two fingers to blend that into my cheeks and all along the sides of my face, under my eye, around the side of my face here, and around my chin, and a little bit above my nose, and especially under my nose so that everything blends together nice and evenly. I don't usually go up onto my forehead, but yeah, I just tend my forehead is a lot paler than the rest of my face, so I usually just leave it alone. Next thing I'm going to do is take my Almay Smart Shade Concealer in Light 10. This is SPF 20. This is SPF 10. I always like to make sure it has SPF in it since it is for my summer routine. Although a lot of the time I don't go with foundation in the summer because, you know, who cares? This is for when I want to look really nice. Okay, so I just take a little dab off the tip onto my finger, get out my little mirror again, and pat that under my eye like that, and this side too. And I pretty much just take my middle finger and pat it into my skin along my lower eye because that tends to get very red since I don't sleep much. And basically I just try to make sure that it's nice and even. One side isn't like a lot more covered or a lot paler than the other. Okay. And I find that especially good a tip for chicks who have really pale skin like me or who don't sleep a lot. Then I'm just going to take a little bit more of that on if I have any acne or blemishes that I want to cover. Right now I do have one on my chin. I get the worst acne on my chin. Always on my chin. And there, just pat that in. One right beside my nose. Next thing I'm using, and the last thing I'm using, True Match Super Blendable Powder in Neutral. There you go. And my little Vichy brush. Very round. I don't know what number this is, but yeah. I'm basically just going to go in circles around that because it's almost empty. Blow off the excess, and very large circles around my cheeks first. Streaking it along the bottom of my chin. In along the sides of my face are next. And then finally I like to get a little bit more on the tip of my nose to reduce the amount of shine there. And then if I'm doing something like I am today with the ponytail, I just like to put a little bit on my forehead to reduce the shine. There, and then I just use a bit to touch everything up and make it all nice and even. Now here's the thing that I do next, which you might find a little bit weird. I take my sleeves, or just my palms, I'm using my sleeves now, and I go like this. And I find that just helps to get off any of the excess powder that's not really going to stick anyway. And I was just running my fingers down really lightly. I wasn't like wiping the makeup off. And then yeah, that is my foundation routine. It takes me about 2 minutes. So yeah, I had to go before this video gets exceedingly long. So bye guys. Hope you liked it. Please the dolphins if you like and subscribe.